Board here in Minneapolis, and I chair the City Council's Climate and Infrastructure Committee. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful fall morning. In Minneapolis, our climate and environment is fundamental to our way of life. But now every season is being impacted by unexpected weather and disasters, whether it's spring floods destroying our crops or summer wildfire smoke that is causing us to have to stay inside for weeks on end. Less than a week ago, the first week of October, it was 90 degrees out. It served as a reminder that climate change is here, as the scientists predicted, and it's impacting our day-to-day lives. It's a reminder that we need to be bold on climate change to prevent the worst impacts from changing our city and our community's way of life. Today at City Council, my colleagues and I will be bringing forth an amendment to the City of Minneapolis franchise fees ordinance to restore climate funding. Our current franchise fee ordinances have a provision that for every monthly gas or electric bill, a small charge of about 5% is tacked on that goes directly to the city to fund retrofitting and weatherization programs for residents. These programs improve homes and buildings citywide to be more environmentally and economically sustainable, ultimately reducing energy costs. When this fee was first passed in 2017 and then raised in 2023, the money was then officially allocated to these climate programs. And in 2023, it was estimated that our franchise fees would bring in $10 million annually for climate legacy work. We recently learned that the current fee structure brought us in $2 million short of our climate funding goal. Therefore, we need this funding to increase so that these programs can scale up and meet the moment. My colleagues and I are bringing forth an amendment that will increase franchise fees on residential, commercial, and industrial properties by about 0.5% to 1%, depending on gas and electric usage. I'm honored to be part of a community that believes science and supports climate action. Nearly every week for the past year, community members have written to my office asking for us to increase the franchise fees so we can truly tackle climate change. We've heard from both senior citizens and seniors in high school that we need to increase the franchise fees for the sake of our climate. We were anticipated to raise $10 million this year, but we only raised $8.3 million, and that's not enough. I know people have expressed concerns about increased fees on residents, but I'm pleased to share that based on the data we have from our sustainability department, the franchise fee increase would only increase utility bills for residents by $10 a year total. And nowadays, that is about the price of a latte. The new franchise fee increases would add cents per month to residential bills, while holding high polluters to a higher standard, and would even incentivize them to switch to more sustainable energy sources, such as switching from gas heat to electric heat. The goal of this increase is to bring in an additional $5 million annually to our climate efforts. And these funds accumulated through franchise fees will go directly to city programs for weatherization and retrofitting Minneapolis homes, which when done, lower gas and electric bills. In 2023, it was estimated that every $12 of this program could turn into $512 in savings for residents. When we are living through a backwards federal administration who is simultaneously cutting climate funding while charging families more and more for everyday needs, the city needs to step up for our residents, and this is how we take action today. I am pleased to introduce our first speaker from the community, Dale Howie.
Good morning. Ours is not to complain about the time in which we live, but what we do with the time we are given. I'm a landlord in Minneapolis in the Southside Green Zone. I've been able to take advantage of the Minneapolis Cost Share Program and other benefits from the federal and state agencies. It would have taken me a decade longer to do the work I've done. We have 185 units in Minneapolis. 3 of those buildings are fossil fuel free. And we'll continue to do this work as long as we continue to get assistance. I'm going to do it either way, but it's sure nice to get a hand. What are we here for if we're not here for each other? Thank you.
And next I'll welcome Leila Lopez.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Leila López, soy ecuatoriana y residente de Minneapolis. Vivo en el Distrito 1 y tengo una casa con mi familia. En mis dos países estamos sintiendo el efecto del cambio climático. Menos lluvias menos predecibles, temperaturas menos estables, que afectan nuestra capacidad de cultivar alimentos, la salud, la economía, entre otros. Como residente, agradezco vivir en una ciudad donde se toma en serio el compromiso de luchar contra la contaminación ambiental, especialmente a través de una fuerte inversión en programas de eficiencia y transición energética para los que más necesitan. Es crucial hacerlo ahora. Me da orgullo estar aquí con ustedes. My name is Leila Lopez. I am Ecuadorian and a resident of Minneapolis. I live in Ward 1, where I have a house with my family. In both my countries, we are feeling the effects of climate change, less predictable rainfall, less stable temperatures, which affect our ability to grow food, health, and the economy, among other things. As a resident, I'm grateful of live in a city that takes seriously its commitment to fight environmental pollution, especially through significant investment in energy efficiency, in transition programs for those most in need. It's crucial to do it now. I'm proud to be here with you.
And next up, we'll hear from Solveig Nilsson.
My name is Solveig. I live in Ward 8. I'm a retired Hennepin County librarian and a homeowner. I live on a fixed income, a modest pension, and Social Security. When I had the energy assessment done on my home, which was a great thing to be able to have done, I learned that some of my walls have no insulation, most of my walls. My income is just over the line for the Minnesota Energy Assistance. So I was very excited to hear about the city's weatherization loan program. However, I applied for the program in both 24 and 25 and was denied both times for lack of funding, ran out of money. My winter energy bills are high, and I know I'm not the only one. Low-income residents like myself need support to make ends meet, and these programs are a lifeline. They just need more money. I invite the mayor and the council to support this critical infrastructure and protect Minneapolis residents from rising energy prices. I hope you hear us.
Thank you. And now I'll just open up to questions, unless any of the other council members would like to say a few words. All right. And just so you know, we will be having a public hearing on these ordinances on November 13th and hope to pass these ordinances on December 11th. Are there any questions at this time?
Based on the report, looks like these things bring in about $50 million construction. Is there an examination of just directing more of that specifically to climate funding instead of raising the fee itself, or how is that?
Yeah, you're right. They do bring in a lot more than 8 million. It's only that much that's being dedicated to climate right now. The rest is going to Public Works. And Public Works does need to manage our right-of-ways where Centerpoint and XL are installing pipes and other infrastructure. So at this time, we're not considering taking funding from one department to another department. We don't want to pit these goals against each other. We just want to raise the pot of money that can be used.
And what's your understanding for this year of the green cost share programs? Is still money in the pot for this year, or is it's all been spent?
We heard in August that it had already been spent, which is why we want to raise the more money so that we can have more people benefiting from these programs. And green cost share, by the way, is really powerful tool to do insulation, to do switch to a heat pump, to do all kinds of programs, whether it's a home or an industrial or commercial building. And we want as many building owners in our city to apply to participate.
And what's your sense of how popular it's going to be? I'm supposed to decent number of you up here in the city, but how do you see this, going through the process of the council?
We have a very strong majority on our council that's been able to have the most productive city council term in recent history. So I'm confident that we'll be able to get it done. And I did reach out to the mayor's chief of staff and have also spoke with his policy aide, have another meeting with them tomorrow, and are eagerly trying to get his support for this ordinance.
So I had one comment I'd like to add to that. One thing I missed in what my comments were, the fact that I can keep my rents affordable by mitigating the fluctuations in energy costs. So I've used the program for solar, heat pump units, insulation, and all those have been able to keep my costs stable and low. Right now, my last energy bill on 12 commercial buildings was negative $1,000. Negative. And so that allows me to pass those savings on to my tenants. And then we're also involved with the Minneapolis 4D program, which gives you tax breaks and by keeping the rents capped and low. So our rents are between $900 and $1,100, and that includes $300 worth of eco benefits to the tenants and other amenities. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Very powerful story that we want more building owners in our community to learn about, passing on those savings to the people who live here and actually lower energy costs instead of them rising every day.
Yeah. Well, check out my YouTube channel, Crazy Green Landlord.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out.